The sky above Veltorak was dark red like fire burning in the clouds. The city was not like any other. It was tall, full of shining towers and wide streets. But today, Veltorak was dying. The sound of explosions and screams filled the air. The enemy, called the Scorchers, had come. They were strong, cruel, and without mercy. Commander Yelfin stood on a high tower looking down at the city. His hands shook, but his face was calm. Around him, soldiers prepared their weapons. Some checked their guns, others helped wounded people. The Scorchers were coming closer and closer. Everyone knew this might be their last day alive. "Commander," said a young soldier, "the walls won't hold much longer." Yelfin nodded. "We must hold them for as long as we can, for the children, for the future." Deep underground, in the refugee tunnels, children and old people waited. They were scared. Many had lost their families. One small alien child with big green eyes held her mother's hand tightly. She whispered, "Are we going to die, Mama?" Her mother tried to smile, but her eyes were full of tears. "We must believe we will live. We must be brave." Back above ground, the battle raged. The Scorchers broke through the walls, breaking gates and smashing towers. They shouted war cries that echoed like thunder. The defenders fought hard, but they were fewer and fewer. Yelfin watched as the city burned. Fires grew bigger and smoke covered the sky. The city was a battlefield. He thought, "This is the end." Then, something strange happened. The loud rumble started low, far away. At first, everyone thought it was thunder from the storms above. But the storm had passed hours ago. This was different. The rumble grew louder and louder, shaking the ground. Soldiers stopped fighting. People looked up. From the dark red sky, hundreds of black shapes dropped down. They looked like pods shining with strange blue light. The shapes fell fast, crashing to the ground with loud bangs. Dust and smoke rose from the impact. The Scorchers stopped too. They stared in surprise. They had never seen this before. From each pod, a figure stood up. They were tall, strong, wearing heavy armor that shone like metal. Their eyes were hidden behind dark visors. They carried weapons that looked like nothing the aliens had ever seen. The new soldiers moved silently but quickly. Yelfin's heart beat fast. "Who are they?" he asked. One of his soldiers shook his head. "I don't know, but they are not like us." The new soldiers did not talk much. They walked through the battlefield, shooting at the Scorchers with strange beams of light. The beams cut through the enemy like knives through cloth. The Scorchers tried to fight back, but these new fighters were too strong. One of the new soldiers lifted a heavy tank like it was a toy and threw it aside. The ground shook with every step they took. The aliens watched in silence, not sure if these new soldiers were friends or more enemies. Yelfin moved closer to the newcomer soldiers. One of them, a tall human man, looked at him with cold eyes. "We are here to help," the man said with a strong voice. Yelfin wanted to believe him, but had seen too much death already. "Why?" Yelfin asked. "Why come now? Why help us?" The man did not answer. He only nodded to his team, and they moved forward, fighting harder. The battle changed. The Scorchers started to retreat. The new soldiers fought like thunder, fast and powerful. The city began to breathe hope again. But Yelfin knew this was not the end. The enemy would return, stronger. Still, for the first time in many years, hope lit the dark sky. The small alien child in the tunnels looked up as the rumble faded. She asked, "Will they save us?" Her mother hugged her tight. "Yes, my child. They came when all seemed lost. Maybe this time, we will live." The sky was still dark, but now it held something new. Hope. The strange black pods had landed, and from them the humans stepped out. They moved like shadows, silent and sure. The aliens on the battlefield stopped and stared. These were not like any soldiers they had ever seen. The humans wore heavy suits that glowed softly. Their helmets hid their faces, but their eyes shone with quiet strength. They didn't speak much at first. Instead, their actions told the story. Without hesitation, they spread out quickly, covering every part of the city where danger still lingered. Yelfin watched carefully. His soldiers were tired, their hope fading with every passing moment. But these newcomers, they moved like the storm itself, fast and unstoppable. The humans had strange machines that floated beside them, small drones that scanned the area and found survivors hiding in dark places. One human stepped forward and gently lifted a frightened child from the rubble. The child looked up, wide-eyed and silent. The human smiled behind the helmet and whispered words the child could not understand but somehow felt safe. That moment was different from any the aliens had ever seen. It was kindness and power together. The Scorchers, who had been loud and fierce, now looked confused. They didn't expect help to arrive like this, from the sky, like a thunderstorm that changed everything. Some tried to hide. Others slowly moved away, unsure what to do against such quiet strength. Yelfin decided to meet the humans. He walked carefully toward the leader, a tall man with a calm presence. The two stood face to face, two different worlds meeting in the middle of a broken city. "Why did you come?" Yelfin asked. "Why help us now after all this time?" The human captain looked at him with steady eyes. "We watched for a long time," he said. "We waited for the moment when help was needed most. We do not fight for power or land. We fight for those who cannot defend themselves." Yelfin felt something shift inside. He had seen many battles, many wars, but this was different. These humans did not want to conquer or control. They wanted to protect. The captain continued, "We carry technology and strength that can change the course of this war, but we do not want to change your world. We want to stand beside you as friends." Slowly, Yelfin's soldiers began to trust the humans. Together, they formed new teams. The humans showed how to use their machines to find hidden tunnels and safely bring people out from danger. The city was still damaged, but with the humans' help, the injured received care faster. The wounded were not left behind anymore. Hope grew with every rescued life. At night, under the quiet stars, Yelfin spoke with his officers. "These humans fell from the sky like a storm," he said. "But they brought something stronger than any weapon, hope." The children in the tunnels began to dream again, not of fear, but of the day when they could run free under bright skies. And though the battle was not yet over, the people of Veltorak knew they had a new chance. Because when the sky broke open and the humans came, the impossible became real. The city was quiet now, but the air still carried tension. The humans and aliens had formed an uneasy partnership. The new soldiers moved through the streets with purpose, helping wherever they could. Their technology was strange but powerful, machines that could heal, lights that showed hidden paths, and tools that lifted heavy debris like they weighed nothing. Commander Yelfin watched as a group of humans carefully opened a collapsed tunnel. Inside, scared families huddled together, breathing the dusty air. The humans spoke softly, their voices calm and gentle. One of them offered food and clean water. Tears of relief ran down the faces of the alien refugees. Meanwhile, the Scorchers were nowhere to be seen. They had retreated for now, but Yelfin knew they would return. Yet with the humans here, the people felt stronger. The humans did not just fight, they protected. They stood as shields between the frightened and the danger. One day, Yelfin followed a human medic to a small camp where injured aliens were resting. The medic worked carefully, using machines that glowed with soft blue light. Wounds closed, faster than Yelfin had ever seen. The aliens whispered among themselves, amazed at the healing power the humans carried. Later, the human captain invited Yelfin to a quiet room filled with screens and maps. The captain showed how they tracked enemy movements and planned rescue missions. "We do not want to control your city," he said. "We want to give you tools to protect yourselves." Yelfin felt hope grow inside him. He realized that these humans were different from any help they had ever received before. They were not just soldiers, they were teachers and friends. That evening, as the sun set behind the broken towers, Yelfin stood with a group of young aliens. He told them stories of the humans who came from the sky to save them, not with anger, but with kindness and strength. The children listened with wide eyes, dreaming of a future where they could live without fear. The night was calm, but Yelfin knew this calm would not last forever. The Scorchers were still out there, watching, waiting. But now, the people of Veltorak were ready. With humans by their side, they had found a new courage. The sky was no longer just a place of storms and destruction. It was a place of hope, where allies could come when needed most and where the impossible could become possible. The air was thick with tension, but a new energy pulsed through the city streets. The humans and aliens moved together like a single team, but the danger was not gone. The enemy was still out there, watching, planning their next move. Suddenly, a low hum filled the sky. It was deep and steady, like the sound of a giant machine waking up. From the distant hills, a large shape began to move forward. It was enormous, taller than any building in Veltorak, with legs strong enough to shake the ground with each step. The humans responded quickly. From a hidden base, a machine unlike any the aliens had seen before rose. It was tall, too, but covered in shining armor with lights blinking across its surface. It moved with surprising speed and grace, like a guardian, coming to protect the city. The two giants faced each other silently, as if they understood this was a test not of strength but of will. The large shape from the hills moved closer, but the shining machine stood its ground. The humans inside the machine moved carefully, controlling their powerful suit with skill. The alien soldiers watched in awe. The human's machine was like a symbol of hope and strength combined. It showed that even in the darkest moments, technology and courage could work together to protect and defend. The machine stepped forward, blocking the enemy's path. The ground shook with each movement, but the city felt safer. The humans called out to the aliens, "We stand with you. Together, we can protect what is left," Yelfin nodded. The people had learned a new lesson. Strength was not just about fighting, but about standing tall when it mattered most. The humans and aliens worked side by side, using their different skills and tools to rebuild walls and set up new defenses. The enemy had power, but the city had hope. And hope was something no machine or giant shape could ever break. As the sun began to rise, casting warm light over the broken city, Yelfin looked at the horizon. The battle was far from over, but something had changed deep inside everyone's hearts. Together, they had found a new way to fight, not with anger or fear, but with unity and strength. The future was still uncertain, but for the first time in a long time, the people of Veltorak believed they might see a new dawn. The city was quieter now. The smoke had started to clear, and the stars shone brighter than before. But deep beneath the ruins, something unexpected was waiting to be found. A hidden place, forgotten by time, held secrets that could change everything. Commander Yelfin and a small group of humans and aliens moved carefully through the dark tunnels below the city. Their lights cut through the thick shadows, revealing ancient walls covered with strange symbols. The air felt heavy, like the place was holding its breath. At the center of the tunnels, they found a metal door, old but still strong. The humans worked together, using their tools to unlock the door slowly. Inside, the room was filled with strange machines and glowing panels. A soft humming sound filled the space, like the heartbeat of something alive. On a wall, a recording device started to play. The voices were old but clear. The message was from a long time ago, from a group who had watched the galaxy silently for many years. They spoke of a promise to help those in need, but only when the time was right. Yelfin listened closely. The message told of humans watching from afar, waiting for the moment when they could no longer stand by. It spoke of hope, patience, and the power to change the course of many worlds. The humans explained that their arrival was no accident. They had come because the time had come to keep their promise. They were not conquerors or rulers. They were guardians. Their technology and strength were gifts meant to protect, not to take. Yelfin felt a new hope growing inside him. The past had brought pain, but now it offered a chance for a better future. The alliance between humans and aliens was not just about war. It was about trust, respect, and shared dreams. As they left the tunnels, the group carried with them new plans and ideas. They would use the old technology wisely, not to fight, but to build. The city could rise again, stronger and safer. Outside, the sun began to rise, painting the sky with colors of gold and pink. The people of Veltorak looked up, feeling the promise of a new day. The humans had kept their word. They had come when hope was lost. And with that hope, the future seemed brighter than ever before. The city was alive with soft light and gentle sounds. After so many dark days, Veltorak was waking up. People moved through the streets with careful steps, but their eyes held something new: hope. Commander Yelfin stood on a high balcony, looking over the city. The humans were busy helping everywhere, fixing broken walls, sharing food, teaching new skills. It was a different kind of strength, one that built rather than broke. But Yelfin knew the future was not just about rebuilding what was lost. It was about creating something better, something new. The humans invited the leaders of Veltorak to a meeting. They shared ideas and plans for a future where all could live safely. They spoke of working together, not just for war, but for peace, learning, and growth. Young aliens gathered in schools where humans taught them about the stars, technology, and the stories of distant worlds. The children's laughter filled the air, a sound the city had missed for too long. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, Yelfin walked with the human captain. They spoke quietly about what had happened and what was yet to come. "We came to your world when the sky was dark," the captain said, "but we did not come alone. We brought a promise that no one would stand alone again." Yelfin nodded. "You showed us more than strength. You showed us hope." The city was no longer just a place of survival. It was a place of new beginnings. As the stars began to shine overhead, the people of Veltorak looked up together, united. They knew that no matter what challenges lay ahead, they would face them side by side. Because when help came from the sky, it was not just the fall of thunder. It was the rise of a new dawn.